Hi everybody, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mike. I'm your Cub Scout Roundtable Commissioner here in the Sunset Trail District, which is part of the Cascade Pacific Council. Today I'm coming to you with a very special installment. This month at Roundtable, March 2016, we're going to have a very special, very different kind of Roundtable Breakout. It's going to be an interactive event, hands-on, in-person, all about spring recruitment, and it's going to be a great event. The result of that is we're not going to have our typical Cub Scout Roundtable Breakout discussion. So instead of doing that, we've decided to do that here in a virtual format for you. This is going to be our first, maybe only, I don't know, Cub Scout Virtual Roundtable Breakout here in March 2016. Thank you, welcome, and the only downside to doing this is that you can't ask questions live and in person. If you do have questions, please feel free to make a comment in the video description or shoot me an email or something like that. Also note that the slides and handouts for this month are in a link to a Google Drive down in the description of this video. So please head on down to the description, check out that link that'll send you to a Google Drive location to all those handouts. The slides are available, they're all in PDF format to download, keep forever and ever. So as I said before, my name is Mike Foltz. I am your Cub Scout Roundtable Commissioner here in Sunset Trail. I have a couple of people that help me on a regular basis, most notably Daryl Crossman and Chris May. They are Assistant Roundtable Commissioners. They do a great job. We are resources for you. If you have issues, problems, questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and ask those questions. We like to help. We're here to help you solve problems. So what's our agenda for today? Well, our big rock topic is spring recruitment. And for those of you who don't know or haven't been to our breakouts, we really like to present awards that we as Scouters can guide our Cub Scouts to earning. And so we present every month at least one award that we can have our Cub Scouts earn. This month we're going to talk about the Recruiter Strip or the Recruiter Award, whichever way you want to call it. And then we also like to present an award that we as adult leaders can earn. And of course, adult leaders or Scouters aren't supposed to wear the Recruiter Strip or the Recruiter's Award. So instead we're going to talk about the Silver Awards. The Boy Scouts of America have a series of Silver Awards, and we haven't covered those yet, so we're going to talk about those today. We're going to cover our April Point of the Scout Law and our theme for the month, as well as a game, a cheer, and a gathering activity. We get some good feedback about those. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do my big presentation that I would usually give about spring recruitment, how it's best done. This is sort of the classroom session. I do recommend highly, if you can, to come to our Thursday, May 10th breakout where you will have a hands-on interactive experience. Youth are welcome to come, by the way. There will be youth activities as well as adult activities. It's going to be great. And we'll finally wrap it up today with final thoughts and resources. So, without further ado, here we go. The Recruiter Award, or Recruiter Strip, whichever you prefer to call it, is designed to encourage our youth members to recruit a friend into scouting. Any registered Cub Scout, or Boy Scouts also have a version of this award, is eligible to earn this. Typically, you award a patch when a Scout has recruited a friend and they've joined your pack. The patch is worn immediately below the Scout's right uniform pocket. Here in the Sunset Trail District and the Cascade Pacific Council, we have a rounder that goes on the pocket and then segments go around that. So this would go below the segments if you're here in our council in our district. Please note that nationally or even at the council level, there are no formal requirements for a Scout to earn this award. You don't have to put this into your advancement report that you're sending down to council like you usually would for a rank advancement or something like that. I think even adventurers you have to put in now your advancement report to council. Those are all tracked in the database. The Recruiter Award is not tracked. You can go ahead and buy a huge bulk of these things and have them ready to go when you need them. The flip side of that is that it's a good idea for your unit, you as a unit leader, to establish with your unit policies and guidelines for when a Scout does earn this award. Does he earn this award if he simply talks to his friend about how exciting Cub Scouting is and then the friend joins? In my personal opinion, I'm going to say yes. If this Scout, Billy Cub Scout, has a younger sibling and the younger sibling joins, what's the threshold for earning this award from that? Do they have to sort of prove to their parent or whatever that they encourage their younger sibling to join, or is that just something you're not going to do? This came up in my pack about 6 months ago. Or do you want to encourage your scouts to be there for recruitment events, and do you want to have that be part of the requirement that this Cub Scout was actually at our recruitment event and helped and encouraged scouts to go and join, that kind of thing? It's totally up to you and your unit. And like I say, with your unit leaders, I would encourage you to establish a policy, some kind of a, either it's written or verbal or whatever. I would recommend it being written, but to establish a set of guidelines so that when somebody comes and says, hey, my kid recruited his friend, then there's an easy answer as to whether or not they met that threshold. Also note that if Billy Cub Scout recruits 4 of his friends, he doesn't get 4 of these and wear them in a huge stack on his uniform. He gets 1. Here in the Cascade Pacific Council, we actually have a segment. It's a little high segment, and in fact there's more paperwork for that particular segment by far than there is for the recruiter strip. So we in our pack like to give the recruiter strip first. It's a really big award. Our scouts really love to earn this, and then any subsequent recruits that they make, we'll give them that high. It's a little red segment. So that's my recommendation. You go forth and do what you will, but know that a Cub Scout shouldn't wear 5 of these recruiter awards on his uniform. Use this to your advantage. I'll tell you a little story. About 2 years ago, we had 2 Cub Scouts join, one in March, one in April. The one that joined in March, his mom basically came and said, I want my kid to be a Cub Scout. Okay, let's get Johnny signed up. And then in April, one of our Tiger Cubs recruited his friend. And so at the April PAC meeting, I, as committee chair, stood up and basically gave my Cub Master 5-minute break, and I said, hey, let's welcome our new friends. And I brought up Cub Scout number 1. I say, Cub Scout number 1, you're new. Should you tell us a little bit about yourself? And so your mom, okay, great, yeah, thank you. Okay, Cub Scout number 2, come on up and tell us a little bit about yourself. And so why did you join? Oh, well, my friend John, he told me about how much fun he was having in Cub Scouts. Well, Johnny Cub Scout, come on up. And John came up, and he was proud, and we issued him the recruiter strip at that point and said, John Cub Scout gets the recruiter strip for recruiting his friend here. Yay! And we all gave him a big round of applause, and they went off. And since that time, we've had at least half a dozen or more Cub Scouts recruit their friends into our pack. So I can attest to you that this works. Make a big deal out of it. Make it a thing. Every time you do a recruitment event, you're announcing, come to our join night and have some fun. Have your recruiters stand up or come up to the front and line up and give them a little bit of props for what they've done to expand your pack, to make your pack more healthy than it was. So that's my recommendation. Take it for what it's worth. Again, it's a good idea to have a policy in place at the pack level. So adult leaders or scouters, it's not appropriate for us to wear the recruiter strip on our uniform. It's kind of our job to recruit scouts. So let's talk about 3 awards that we can have given to us. These are Boy Scouts of America Silver Awards. There are 3 of them. There's the Silver Beaver, the Silver Antelope, and the Silver Buffalo. And it's most appropriate to say that a person is awarded this recognition, not that they earned this award. These are top-level Boy Scouts of America recognitions. It's kind of based on the military model, where silver is the highest ranking. It's above gold. For example, in the military service here in the U.S., first lieutenant has a silver bar, and it outranks the second lieutenant, which is a gold bar. And you'll see that both throughout the military, most of the high-ranking medals are made out of silver or a silver color, and you'll see that in scouting as well. Some examples include of all the Cub Scout adult leader patches that you would wear on your left pocket sleeve. Mine's a commissioner's patch right now. I have a committee chair patch that I wear. Most of them are trimmed in gold. The Cub Master patch is trimmed in silver. It's the only one that has a silver border, and I believe there's silver trimmings on the inside too. The Eagle Scout patch is trimmed in silver as well, and if you go and look at those who have earned Eagle Scout and they go on to earn Eagle Palms, the Silver Eagle Palm has a greater achievement level than the Gold Silver Palm. So the Silver Beaver Award, let's talk about this one first. This is a council level distinguished service award. It's somebody is nominated for this award. It is nomination only. The nomination goes to the council, and there's a committee that's put together at the council level to consider all nominations on an annual basis. The Silver Beaver is awarded to those who implement the Scouting program and perform community service through hard work, self-sacrifice, dedication, and many years of service. The point is, it is a nomination only. It's not given to those who actively seek it. If you nominate yourself, that is immediate grounds for disqualification. This can be issued to a person who is registered with only a unit, or is also registered and volunteers with the district or with the council. So council, district, unit, anybody in that realm. I would hesitate to say that the bar isn't higher for a person who is simply a unit volunteer. I think to make a distinguished and impactful service, to youth, you're going to need to do a lot more at the unit level than you would potentially at the district or council level. It's easier to impact more scouts when you're volunteering at the district or council level. This award was originally created back in 1931, and since that time, over 50,000 recipients have received this, so it is not terribly uncommon. If you go to a district meeting or a council meeting, you will see the patches. The patches, of course, blue and white square knot on a tan background. You'll see the patches floating around if you go to a council court of honor or a district dinner, district court of honor, something like that. You will see people wearing the medal. The medal is blue and white ribbon with the silver beaver attached. Interestingly, point of note, a person to receive this must be registered with the Boy Scouts of America in some capacity, typically at the council, district, or unit level. And there is a link down at the bottom of there for you to download and keep. And if you know somebody that you think qualifies to earn this award, I definitely recommend that you nominate them. And when you fill out the nomination form, there's a lot of questions about what they've earned in the past, and I think there's a free form at the end about why you think this person should earn it. Leave nothing on the table. Put it all out there. Be eloquent and be verbose. Don't just say that Johnny Cubmaster does a great job. You need to really make your case, because the council doesn't issue a lot of these. Most councils don't issue a lot of Silver Beavers every year, so really put it out there. Alright, the next one on the list is the Silver Antelope Award. This is one level up. It's an area or region level Distinguished Service Award. It recognizes volunteers who have made significant contributions to the Scouting program at the region or the area level. There are no tenure requirements, but the competition is typically very heavy at this level, and usually there's only one presented per area per year that I'm aware of, so keep that in mind. Again, if you know somebody that you think qualifies for this, volunteers at the area or region level, and has done an amazing job, definitely don't hesitate to nominate them, but like I said, leave nothing behind. Put it all out there. Tell people everything. Whoever it is that reads this may not know the person that you're nominating. Hopefully they do, but put it all out there. Tell them everything that they do. This was created back in 1942. I couldn't find any statistical records on how many of these things have been issued since that time. And again, recipients of this award must be registered with the Boy Scouts of America. Again, most likely at the area or region level. So there's that one. Let's move on to the final one. The Silver Buffalo is a national level Distinguished Service Award. It's bestowed upon those who give truly noteworthy and extraordinary service to youth. It is Scouting's highest commendation, and it recognizes the invaluable contributions that outstanding American men and women render to youth. It was created, this is the first one, created back in 1926. I believe the first person to receive this was Robert Baden-Powell. I might be wrong about that. I have to go check. And to date, over 728 recipients, well, as of last year, end of 2014, 728 total recipients nationwide have received this. So do the math. This has been around for about 90 years. That's not very many every year. Interestingly, recipients do not need to be registered with the Boy Scouts of America to receive this award, and there are a number of people. If you go on to Wikipedia, it actually has a great list of, I think it's pretty exhaustive, of those people who have received the Silver Buffalo year over year, and there are some very big names that you'll recognize on that list. Again, some of those people are registered with the Boy Scouts of America, others are philanthropists or support Boy Scouting, Scouting programs in general. So it's a pretty big deal. This is a big one. So if you think you know somebody who qualifies this, there's at the bottom of the screen the link to the nomination form. So there you go. All right, let's move on to our April point of the Scout Law. April is going to be cheerful. We're here in March. We're looking forward to April. Scout is cheerful. A scout looks on the bright side of life. He cheerfully does tasks that come his way, and he tries to make others happy. That's from the 11th edition of the Boy Scout Handbook. Cheerful is a really good one for Cub Scouts. It's very easy to imbue to a Cub Scout what cheerful is. There's not a lot of extra depth to this one. You think about some of the other points of the Scout Law. Clean's an interesting one. Reverent has a lot of depth to it. This one's kind of on the surface. One interesting point here, and this harkens back to service in the Order of the Arrow and some of the things that they do. If you're not familiar with the Order of the Arrow, they are a national honor society of scouting, and they're also very dedicated to service of local council properties and things like that. They're a great organization, and they have a it's not a code, but it's kind of like the Scout Law that they use in addition to the Scout Oath and Scout Law. And one of the phrases there that always rang in my head, after I was kind of graduated from scouting was cheerful service amidst irksome tasks and weighty responsibilities. And this is one of the things that I always think about when we're doing a service project with Cub Scouts. And a lot of times you'll be doing something, whether it's picking up trash or pulling weeds or whatever, something that's probably fairly easy to do but mundane, and let's be honest, it gets boring for a 6, 7, 8-year-old after a while. And it's always good to have that moment of, hey, a scout is cheerful. Yes, this is hard work, and we're going to be doing this for a little bit while longer. But you do, as a scout, you go about your task cheerfully. You look on the bright side. And so it's a good thing to imbue to your scouts. If you're a den leader, if you're a Cub Master, and you follow the point of the Scout Law month over month, consider trying to pull in cheerful to your den meetings, to your pack meetings, to your Cub Masters Minute, things like that. Cheerful's a good one. April's theme from the National Council is Strike Up the Band. The whole point here is music can help us be cheerful, can make us feel many things. One of those things is to make us feel cheerful. As we strike up the band this month, we will explore ways to make people happy using music. Down in the link in the description to the handouts, there's a April pack planning sheet. I think it's 3 or 4 pages long, and there are some great things in there for how to make some musical instruments, how to bring that into your den meeting or your pack meeting. And we'll get right into that in just a second. So Strike Up the Band is the April theme. Check out those pack resource sheets. One good example of a way to use this, and you could do this at the den level, you could do this at the pack level as a joining activity, is to play musical chairs. All you need is something to play music and a gaggle of chairs and some Cub Scouts. It's an easy one, it's simple, everyone knows what musical chairs is, and you can play it as long or as short as you want. And again, you could, have cheerful music to tie into the cheerful thing. So musical chairs is my recommendation for a game. Sorry, I'm kind of phoning it in this month, but remember that even these simple games that we play at a birthday party or whatever, you can pull those into your den meetings or pack meetings. Don't hesitate. Alright, so this month's cheer is called the trombone applause, and how you do this is you put both of your hands near your mouth and you move one hand back and forth while making a sliding note noises as you play the trombone. Like that. And if you get all your Cub Scouts doing that, there's also a kazoo applause and a trumpet applause where you place your hands on your mouth as if you're playing a trumpet and shout ta-da, ta-da. The kazoo applause we'll get to in just a second. You need to actually make the kazoo first. That's our gathering activity. So consider pulling those instrument applauses in with your Cub Scout pack meetings, your den meetings, or wherever you want to use that. Alright, a gathering activity for you guys. This is a good one. All you need is a couple of tongue depressors and I think a couple of rubber bands, and you can make a kazoo. I've heard this actually works. This comes straight from the pack planning resource sheets that I just pointed you to. It's 2 jumbo craft sticks or tongue depressors or popsicle sticks. Don't get the little tiny popsicle sticks, get the bigger ones. And a couple of pieces of cut out drinking straw. Okay, you need the drinking straws and cut those out. 2 small rubber bands and a whole 2 small thin rubber bands and 1 wide rubber band. So I would definitely recommend that you sit down and try to make this first before you do it with Cub Scouts. This will probably be a good one for a den meeting. It might get pretty crazy with a pack meeting if you have a big pack, but it's worth a shot. There's 4-step instructions here for you guys. So have at it, make some kazoos, and then use them during your pack meeting. Do the Kazoo Cheer, have them playing their kazoo for you. So there you go. All right, those are our recommendations for this month. Tune in next month for more. Hopefully we'll have things that are equally exciting for you guys.